Hi, it's Anne. Thank you for stopping by. We are going to continue with our short video series on Junk Journal January, and today is day 27. And we're going to talk about lyrics. And song lyrics they're just such great things to have in junk journals. I have recommended to people, and I know some people do this. Um, they will have an entire journal devoted to song lyrics, and what a great idea that is! If you have a junk journal and you don't know what to do with all this little space, a little piece of a poem, a little piece of a song lyric, just written on the back of one of those journal cards or tags or inserts can be a wonderful memory, just something that resonates with you. And of course, we all have lots and lots of lyrics that have become important in our lives. I've chosen only two today because there's just so many that I have loved over the years. And the first one that I'm going to do, I'm determined to use up this ugly paper, and this is more of that. I made a journal card that I'm going to put some things on top of. Um, but I was at the gym the other day, and what popped into my headphones? But the wonderful song "Lean on Me" by Bill Withers, and I thought, let's have that be one of our lyrics that we have. And why don't I use the bookshelf motif that we used a few days ago? There's no reason we shouldn't use that again. And I know I was thinking very literally about the idea of a book leaning on other books, but I love this notion, and I thought, let's just do that. Let's just do that bookshelf motif again. I would like to be able to to do one that has the books stacked flat, because I think those, that would be just really cute. But there's not quite room for it. But this is, what that could look like if they were stacked on a bookshelf. That's not going to happen this time. So, apologies to the dear friends that would have liked to have seen that happen. That's just not going to happen this time because the constraints of the layout aren't going to permit it. But it's always important to me. I think, what am I going to write about on, the most important side of the tag, the journaling space, which is, right here. And I'm involved with a nonprofit that is is really devoted to helping senior citizens remain in their own homes for as long as possible. And it's just a big group of more than 200 folks here in East Portland. And somebody needs a ride to the doctor, a volunteer from the group gives it. Somebody needs help doing some reorganizing in their home, or maybe doing some yard cleanup, or moving. Well, we don't do a whole lot of moving furniture, to be honest, because everybody's back is bad. But we give rides. Somebody's home from surgery. We take meals. It's a way for people to kind of look out for one another and provide the kinds of services that you have in a smaller village. And in fact, that's the name of the organization, is East Side Village. It sounds like a retirement home. It's not. It's just an organization. Anyway, it's all about leaning on people. And I thought, why don't I write a little bit about this wonderful organization that means so much to me on this card? And we'll just use this Bill Withers lyric here. We all need somebody to lean on. And I know you're singing along with it too. Don't tell me you're not. I know you are. Uh, I'm just going to kind of cut these down. I've mounted um, a few of my DIY labels to sort of simulate books. Um, I guess I can go ahead. This is going to have enough clearance. I can go ahead and nail this bookshelf down. This is another one of my ugly DIY papers and book pages that I used way too much brown acrylic paint on. But I cut it with a little border punch, and I thought that would make kind of a nice little bookshelf. Well, more than kind of a nice bookshelf, it is a nice bookshelf. I'm going all Midwestern on you, saying, well, I don't know. Let's cut this off. Anyway, I love East Side Village and their mission of neighbors helping neighbors stay neighbors, quite frankly. But it's all about leaning on me, you know. Call on me, brother or sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Okay, I probably should have put that shelf just a little bit lower, but I'm going to trim this book spine here. And I put one, I just printed, typed this into in a Word document and printed it out. I used quotes and ellipses because I wanted it clear that this um, was just a portion of the wonderful lyrics, not the whole thing. Bill Withers, what a wonderful, wonderful songwriter and performer he was. And you know what? He died um, just as COVID was kicking in. He didn't die of COVID. He died of complications from heart disease, heart failure in his 80s. But oh my gosh, what a wonderful body of work Bill Withers had. Besides Lean on Me, oh my heavens. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Uh, Lovely Day. So many more. These little simulated books are just so easy to do. Just put a little bit of text, a little bit of text. You know, when I made them before, I was using pieces of branding strips from um, scrapbook paper, but you know, there's any kind of text can go on there. Okay, let me do these first, because I am going to have them butting up right next to each other. Why I chose the text New Jerseyite to be this little book title, I don't know. I needed something really narrow, and I had the, you know, like the top of a dictionary page sitting here, and I thought, okay, New Jerseyite. It was literally sitting on my desk. We'll just pretend that there's a whole book about New Jerseyites. I was myself very briefly a New Jerseyite in the 80s, I guess it was. Boy, this is coming up right on the edge here. If I can squish this, I can trim it a little bit if it needs to be done that way. And let's just lean this book. I know we're being rather literal, but I am really okay with that. And look, we're using more of ugly paper. This is a index page from an old textbook, and I just layer after layer of different kinds of distress inks. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. Here we go. This is a little bit curly, but I can put it under something flat. And I think this is a really sweet card, and I would be very proud to put this into my journal of this coming year, to write about a little something about some volunteer activity that we did in this wonderful nonprofit, of people just recognizing that you always need somebody to lean on at some time or another. It's coming up. Even though I don't have a color printer, it is kind of nice to be able to print some things out from time to time, even with just the black ink, and then I just coffee dye the page, and that's fine. It takes care of all my printing needs. Anyway, there's the first lyric. Let's move on to the second one. And guess what? I'm going to use more ugly paper. We're clicking through that, aren't we? Ain't no sunshine when that ugly paper is going to be gone. Who am I kidding? I'm going to make more. The other lyric I would like to showcase is from the wonderful, wonderful Indigo Girls. And they have a wonderful, I love so many Indigo Girls songs, but they have a wonderful song called The Power of Two. And it's just about, you know, two people meaning a lot. to each other. And I always feel very, very sentimental whenever I hear that song, whenever it pops up on my playlist, because I'm very, very lucky to have a wonderful husband, and who, when I met him, did help me multiply life by the power of two. So I'm gonna use that lyric, and I'm gonna kind of celebrate the number two. I took a old playing card, Birds of North America. It had a hummingbird on there, but there was only one bird, and I thought, two is what we're talking about here. So I found these little house finches in a field guide and cut them out, and kind of put a little piece of book page behind them because I wanted to cover up. All due respect to the hummingbird that was there before, I wanted a pair here, and I liked that two of hearts, so I grunged that up a little bit, and I think we're gonna layer this on here somehow. But first, I think I'm going to just put these twos in here somewhere. This is a stencil, and I've just masked off the um, the other letters. And do I have my walnut stain around here somewhere? Yeah, there it is. So I have these little birds here. Now this is going to be a nice little pocket. And I know I might be covering up these twos, but I'm going to see how they work here. Yeah, the Indigo Girls. Oh, what a wonderful folk duo they are, and they're still going strong. I see that they're coming back to Portland. I think it's this fall sometime. I might have to hop online and get tickets. I've seen them several times since we've been here in Portland, which has been almost 10 years ago. They come through every now and again. One time I went to go see them with my daughter, and it was one of those times. As a mother, do you ever embarrass your kids? Yeah, I embarrassed my daughter, who also loves the Indigo Girls. But you go to an Indigo Girls concert and you sing along because everybody knows all of their wonderful lyrics. And I was perhaps doing so a bit more enthusiastically than my daughter would have liked. But you know what? That's how it goes if you're at a concert like that. And then one time, my husband and I went to go see them. They were playing with Oregon Symphony, and that was not great. That was not great. They were not a good match, I don't think, for the symphonic um, music. It was like the concert didn't know, was it a symphony concert or was it a folk rock concert, and there was just some cognitive dissonance, I think, that I certainly experienced as an Indigo Girls fan uh, at that particular concert. But it was at a fancy concert hall downtown, and we enjoyed it anyway. But I would gladly go see them again, and I probably will. They're not as young as they once were, but then neither am I, and they still believe in the power of two. So this is going to be too, squeezing that in too much there. So I think we're gonna tear this into two pieces. Multiply life by, I think I'm gonna split it right there. I have it also in some slightly smaller text. Let me see if this might be better. There we go. I might do it like that. I kind of hate to cover up gratitude because it's my gratitude for my husband that I really want to kind of celebrate with this. Um, I think I might kind of like that. Yeah, I think I might like that. I I'm just so lucky to have this great fella in my life. He's he's just a wonderful, wonderful companion, and believe me, I do not take that for granted one bit. And I like writing about him and his awesomeness in my journals at times. So I think this will make a nice pocket for some of those entries. I don't use a lot of playing cards, and I should. We play cards all the time here at the house, so we have worn out decks that certainly are part of our household. Kind of, I could go with that. The other thing that I have handy here, and I have coffee dyed these. I have a couple of fortune cookie fortunes here. I'll bring you in. These were we take our grandson out to eat after his afternoon swimming lessons every Wednesday, and we've been at a Chinese restaurant the last couple of weeks, and one of these was Barney's. He's 7, so he was not impressed by a fortune that said you will be lucky in love. Well, of course, he's already lucky in love because his grandparents love him, and romance will come your way soon. And Dan and I both said, okay, that was one of ours. We're like, we already have romance, but I thought, I think I might wonder if I could work these in. Maybe I'll staple these. Do I have a stapler here? The stapler might be. Maybe it's. I don't think I have a stapler. I don't think I have a stapler handy. Isn't that odd? Oh. Well, I can just glue it then. But does that compete with these lyrics? I think that competes with the lyrics a little bit too much. I think I want to just have it be these two birds. I want to have the Indigo Girls uh, lyric there. Now that I'm okay with going over the card, I could make that a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go back to my original larger text, and I have my little credit here for the Indigo Girls. This is what I'm going to do. Good. Well, that was a roundabout way to go, wasn't it? But let's get this little lyric here. And these will be happily rejoined. Yeah. I think that celebrates partnership in a wonderful way. It's hard to choose my favorite lyrics from the Indigo Girls because they're such wonderful songwriters. Closer to Fine. Oh my gosh. More than one answer along this crooked line. Let's put the Indigo Girls right there. We want to credit them in this lyrics pocket. There we go. I think we're going to keep that simple. Put this little bit of extra off here. This book page I've already mounted for some reason onto a piece of thin cardstock. Got his little tail a little bit wrinkled there. And let's those rounded up and maybe a little thumb divot. There we go. It's kind of a quiet, very rainy Saturday afternoon here in Portland, Oregon, and I'm really glad to be able to spend some time in my craft room. And I think as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go upstairs and see my husband. So this will come true. Romance will come your way soon as I go upstairs and give my husband a hug. So there's our lyrics for Junk Journal January today. The Indigo Girls, about the power of two, and the late great Bill Withers with Lean on Me. I'm going to remind you once again to visit Meg Journals at Meg Journals on YouTube and on Instagram. She's doing a wonderful job managing all of the wonderful projects that are coming through for Junk Journal January. So there's lyrics, and not certain. I know I'm going to have at least two more. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks, guys. Bye.